Hi, everyone. Welcome to Avini Vibes. And I'm your host tonight. Christine Rolando is entertaining Doug up in New York. So probably some of her team won't be here tonight either. But I just want to welcome everyone to our call. I'm so happy to be back. And feeling good again, like really and truly feeling good again. I wasn't, it felt like I was looking in a dark tunnel and I couldn't see the light at the end of that tunnel for a little while here. So, but I'm so thankful for our products because I know those products, I never not took my Avini products while I was sick. And I know that's why I've come back in so much more energy now. So, all right, so we want to start out and just do a disclaimer here, okay? We want to stay in compliance. And guys, these products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any symptoms or disease. A cleaner, healthier body fixes itself. And that's what happened for me in this last 4 weeks of being sick. So I am so thankful. Everybody's looking for that undo button. Yeah, it's Cell Defender, guys. It's Cell Defender. And I will tell you this, being sick for 4 weeks, in bed, sick for 4 weeks, I really, really and truly know what it means to have your health. We do not want to take that for granted. We do not want to take it for granted, because when you do and it hits you, you are not prepared. But guys, you are prepared because you've got an arsenal of Avini products. And I'm just telling you now, that's why I'm stronger and healthier right now, because I stayed on my products. And it had me come back in a much more energetic way. Thank goodness. So, so tonight, what I want to do is this. We do not have a guest speaker tonight. And so what I want to do is, we haven't heard testimonies for a while inside of our community. And I'd love to hear some of the testimonies, some of the things that have happened to people inside of Cell Defender and Plus Relief and all the different products that we have available. And guys, make sure that we don't talk about any kind of diseases or anything around that nature, but you can still share your story, and we're recording. And so I'd love to hear from, because our group has really grown since we started this call, and a lot of people, I've not heard your stories before, so I'd love to hear. And that's where we want to start, is like having people share their testimonies. Okay. Raise your hands, and anybody that wants to share and tell us what product that's really and truly made a difference for you inside of this, inside of Avini. Okay.
Ray is ready to go.
Like to share, Ray? Go ahead, Ray.
Well, I have a new one. I told my wife I've been lying to her for 50 years. I always thought my right leg was shorter after getting wounded in Vietnam.
Okay.
So I've told everybody that for 50 years. Well, Kelly Callahan introduced me to a chiropractor that does not do the normal. And so I went to see him, told him the same thing. And he up and says, Shu, I don't think that's when that happened. I really think that possibly could have happened in the birth canal. Never heard that before. And my right knee has hurt for 50 years, going downstairs. And I've always been a little bit shy. Didn't hold on to a railing, but I was always kind of careful with it. And luckily it didn't go out. Well, after Kelly had shared her testimony this past week on Robin's call and had such a miraculous story with the hydration, I thought, I'm taking the hydration, but what would happen if I bumped it up? So I bumped it up to 3 times a day. And I've got 20 some steps to get down to our lake cabin. And a week ago, right after that, I came down those stairs and there was absolutely no pain whatsoever, no discomfort. Like I say, I've never held on to a hand railing per se, but that was a new one because I'm on everything, been on everything ever since Marcy and Chip and Robin introduced me to this, almost 20 years ago. And I take much more than what's recommended. Mm-hmm. I had 42 pieces of shrapnel and 2 bullet holes in me. So I've had so many owies on head to toe. It's really fought me. And but this stuff, I'm gonna say I'm about 98% okay. I do see a chiropractor once in a while. I got a knot in my back that doesn't want to stay away. It comes and goes and comes and goes. And but I'm able to keep it at bay. But this hydration, you guys, it's like most products are doing more than what Rik says they do. Wow. Everything becomes more miracles, like Chip says. And so I've always taken more than what I need because I feel I need more for what's happened to me. I ride my bike every day now, and I usually try to do that just about right around our morning call and stuff, just to kind of get me out before it gets too hot. I mean, tomorrow it's supposed to be 105. And so that's my latest. And it's a big one for 50 years. So I apologize to everybody for lying for 50 years. And I got to say, you look really good. Your face is glowing. It's not just there. It's got a new shine on it. I don't know if you've bumped your stuff up. I'm assuming you did. Mm-hmm. But I'm just curious as to what your dosages were before you came down with that 19. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of people I'm talking to, whether it's a plus relief issue or what it is, I picture, what I tell people is, because I can't really show it on this screen. Let's say you're, as far as discomfort goes, let's say you're at the 3rd step on the staircase. That's where your threshold is. That's where the pain starts. You're only taking enough plus relief to get up to step 1. Well, now what do we need to do? We need to get to step 4 and 5 with our plus relief. So I've had calls out of the sanctity of me sharing on the phone. I've had people call me from out of state that are not in our line, and I'm willing to help anybody. But I could sense a gentleman out of Seattle, I'm sorry, I don't even remember his name, wanted to talk about how I approach people on the street or what have you. When I hung up, and after he told me what had happened to him and what he was taking, I said, you need to bump up your plus relief. I can tell you're in a lot of pain. He never told me that over the phone. He actually called me back and he says, how did you know that? And I says, I could feel it and hear it in your voice. And you guys, I've never had that sense before, but I've been kind of concentrating on that since Marcy and Chip and Robin and all you guys are reading into other people. And I think some of that's come now lately from MJ Durkin. It's all in your mind. You can do anything you want to do. And he was so shocked that I could tell that over the phone call. And I think if we pay attention to more voices, you can actually tell, is somebody excited or are they really healthy? I mean, when you ask somebody, how are you? And they say, oh, fine. And how many times have we heard, you're really not fine. You don't look real good. And I have no problem telling some people that. Your color's not quite right. I can see you got a limp going on. What happened? Did your wife kick you? And that's what I do in a grocery store or wherever I'm at. I always try to make a joke. Day before yesterday, just kind of a fun little thing. I was in the ear, nose, throat. I've had both my eardrums broke over the years. So they've always leaked wax. I used to have to get them cleaned all the time because they used to get infected. But I've put the drops in for years and I have not had to go back with an infection. I do go back once in a while to get them cleaned. The other day I stopped in to get an appointment because it's been about a year. I figured, I probably should just have a check there. And I'm an eavesdropper. So the guy standing beside me talking to the other gal behind the counter speaks up, and he was a little bit frail talking. And he says, I'm sorry, I've got kind of a bad memory. He starts talking slow. And then pretty quick, he says, yeah, I've had that Men's disease in the back end. And he said the word, but which I won't. And so we both got done about the same time. And out the door we go. Well, I'm sorry. He's not going to get away from me without talking about whatever. And I was driving my Corvette, and he saw me walking towards it. He says, oh, is that yours? And of course, that started a conversation, right? That's all you need. That's all you need. The door is actually wide open. So we talked cars for 10 minutes. He built this and he built that. He tried to get a business going, building cars. And come to find out, his wife has had bad cells. So they're both in bad shape. And I just said, would you have any problem if I could share some information with you? And of course, I had all the paperwork in my vehicle. I have it in every vehicle I drive. And I pulled out an application, basically. All I wanted was his information. And so I don't know where that's going to go. But I'm sorry, I just can't let somebody go like that. And yeah, it's just like MJ says, it's easy and it's got to be fun. That was fun. Yeah. So I appreciate you letting me share.
Oh,
And
thank you, Ray.
yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you. Thank you for sharing that.
you bet, you bet.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, guys, sharing Avini doesn't have to be hard. It can be fun and it can be easy. And it's all about our mindset. Okay. Um, yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yes, Linda, please unmute and come share with us.
Ray is a master, I tell you. Thank you for that, Ray. Shoo, why do I call you Ray when I see your name on here? Anyways, I thought I would just give a quick one that I found that I don't think that I've said before. And it happened to me just a few days before I was going to receive the first shipment of our Plus Hydration, speaking of hydration, Shoo. And I was really, really anxious to receive it because just a short time before we even knew we were going to have that, I started having a pain in the left side of my neck that just went from about here up to kind of behind my ear and into my head a little bit. And it was really bad, kind of scary bad. But, you know, I'm usually the one that tries to diagnose myself, and, you know, I don't just run to the doctor. But I honestly, it was to the point where I was wondering, like, oh gosh, I hope I'm not going to just, I'm not ignoring something that might be super serious. It was kind of a scary pain, but I've been on all of our products for a good couple of years now. And I, you know, upped my use of our Plus Relief and applied it here. And it really didn't honestly take care of it. Perhaps it would have over time, but it just wasn't doing the trick. And so I did my research, and I found there's actually a name for it. It's not just like a crick in your neck kind of thing, not that type of pain at all. It's more almost electrical burning sensation. Excuse me. Anyhow, in my research, I found that actually being dehydrated can be one of the things that causes it to start happening. And so I tell you, I was just on the edge of my seat waiting for my hydration to get to me after that. You know, it was just within a few days of being delivered to me. And sure enough, when I first drank the hydration, like, it goes away almost immediately, literally almost immediately. And I haven't had it since back then in April, right? Yeah, when April was when I first got the hydration. Anyhow, so I didn't even realize this past week I've been busy apparently, because I didn't even realize that I hadn't had my daily 1 or 2 glasses of a hydration. And I tell you, that pain came back and started hurting me the other day. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then it hit me that I hadn't had my hydration. So same reaction. I had my Plus Hydration, and almost immediately it was gone. Just incredible. Just incredible. That's it.
Really great. Thank you.
Really, really grateful for it.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And guys, I want you to know, in bed for 4 weeks, my plus hydration is so vital to me because I have these horrible leg cramps at 3 a.m. I mean, I have to get up and walk around and walk around and walk around. And by the time it's gone, you want to get back in bed. You're wide awake. You are wide awake. So it has interrupted my sleep. And I've had this for a very, very long time. Plus hydration is my hero. I don't have those anymore. I don't deal with leg cramps anymore. But while I've been sick, I forgot to take my plus hydration consistently. They came back. So I'm back on it again. Same thing, Linda. Oh my goodness. I got to have plus hydration in my life always. So, Gary, you have your hand up, and then Ed, I see you. So Gary, yes, go ahead.
Thanks, Cheryl. Yes, I had an experience with a customer. Was chatting with her about the possibilities and about Avini and Cell Defender. And she says, okay, I want to try two bottles. And really, she was trying to tell me that there's nothing wrong with her. Well, about 3 weeks went by, and she called me and said she has a condition. It's when the wind blows and the leaves start shaking. She had something of that happening in her body. She said, I don't know what it is, but it's gone. Please order 2 more bottles. Gladly, glad to help.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Nice. Very nice.
I love hearing these stories, guys. I can't get enough of them because it has me know I am so in the right place in building my Avini business. I am so in the right place. So thank you for sharing that, Gary. Okay, Ed, yes, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, wow, I'm firing from there's so many things running through my mind right now, and I'm going to try to limit this. But so when I got started in Avini, Kyle Helm, my good buddy, called me, and the first thing was clarity and energy, and with Cell Defender, mushrooms, and plus fiber, because your gut is basically the second brain, right? And so immediately, and one night, whenever you guys want me to, I'll tell you the story about 2021. I was diagnosed with cirrhosis of the liver and told that I basically liver transplanted out. So I'm a baseball guy. I played baseball, was always in shape. I blew up 2021, and then I didn't know. I knew about Rik's products because my mother and I in 2015-16 were taking his products. I couldn't find him. I didn't know where he was. And so there's actually an email that I found about a year ago from my mom, 2016, begging people to look at Cell Defender, Planet Light, and all that. So immediately I called Christine Rolando, who was the co-host of the show, and she got involved. A week later, she called me and said, does this stuff have speed in it? I'm like vacuuming the house at like 10 o'clock at night. And I said, yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. So, but there's one thing, like the Cell Defender, the mushroom, like Carol said, we have the arsenal. I hate you. It's good to see you again. I talked to you like a while back before you did your call with us, and love you, buddy. So you hit the whole gamut, right? And everything has a reason. Now we got the cardio, we got the vision, we've got everything covered. So when I was 15, I was a baseball player, and I had to get a physical to make the baseball team. And I went in, and the guy said, okay, you got a knee disease. And I said, what do you mean? He said, you have something called a chip. You may know this. I don't know who may know this. It's called Osgood-Schlatter. And that's where one part of your knee the bone outgrows the other part. And my knees always bothered me, but I said, can I still play baseball? He said, you can play. Later in life, it may bother you. And it's 15. Now I'm 58 now. And so I said, okay, well, as long as I can play baseball, I'm fine. So before I got hold of Avini and the plus relief to that point, if I wouldn't play basketball with my brother-in-law, it would be tough for me to cut without trusting. I didn't trust my knees because I would feel a tweak here and there. The last time I put plus relief on my knees was consistently for about a month, and I haven't put it on my knees in about a year.
Wow.
And I don't have a problem. I have zero problem. But I do want to end with this, guys. So Roxana Williams is my girl now. I met her through Avini. Chip knows her, and several of you know her maybe. And so she lives down in Boca, Pompano Beach. And I was this past weekend, and we went to church Sunday, had lunch with Rik Deitsch, the greatest biochemist on the planet, and his wife for 3 hours.
Wow.
3 hours.
Jealous.
Jealous.
That's you.
We're all jealous.
Oh
Yeah.
no. And well, and the you know, the thing about it was we talked about different things, and guys, I want to emphasize this. When Roxy and I, the 2 weeks prior that we went down to the headquarters, we did a tour of the of everything. And I asked one of the guys, I said, the guy was giving us a tour, I said, how are we doing here? We went from 6,000 square feet to 18,000. He said, we're busting at the seams. This thing is exploding. And what,
Wow.
Chip, was it January that we got in there officially? December, January, right? So we're talking about 6,000.
Yeah, we're brand new.
Right. So
Thinking that we had 10 years laid out in front of us.
yeah. And so I said, wow. He said, and so we're at lunch, and I said that to Rik. One of the things Kyle told me to make sure that I got right when I was at this lunch with Rik is get the square footage right on the headquarters. It's 18,504. He'll be pissed if you don't get that number right. And I said, and I told him that. And so, but the thing about it is meeting with him, sitting with him for 3 hours and talking about Avini here and there, but other things. He's a really funny guy. As a scientist, you think that they're stuck up and they're all about this. Rik he is so cool, but he's brilliant. And I was enamored just to be able to sit and have that conversation for 3 hours. And so we got somebody that even the 2 weeks before I went back down there, Roxy and I went to headquarters to order some product. Rik was at a wedding in Atlanta, Georgia, and we're walking through the parking lot, and Roxy gets a phone call. She's really good friends with Rik and his wife from way back. And he says, hey, how do you guys like the headquarters? And it was like, Rik was calling Roxy as we're walking out of headquarters, monitoring the parking lot and seeing who's coming and going. So it was so wonderful to be connected and grounded with guys like Chip and Doug and Neil and Rik. And it was an honor. So I just want to tell you guys that we have the best. We have the best products, the best leadership, the best biochemist in the world. And you got Chip Littlejohn here, who is my go-to guy on almost everything. So sorry I got long-winded, but I had to incorporate that story into it just so you guys know that Rik Deitsch is an incredible man. Incredible man.
Thank you for sharing that, Ed. All of us, I mean, that just made my night. Thank you for sharing that. No, because really and truly, guys, I've been in a lot of MLMs, a lot of network marketing companies in the past, and they've all gone south. And I want this to be my last one. And Chip assures me it's going to be my last one. It's the only one I want to end with. And so it just it has me feel so secure in my future. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Who else would like to share? Guys, this is the time to share what you have experienced. And I don't care what it is that you share. Just come share with us so that we all get to know one another and what we're up to. And then we're going to go in another direction in a few minutes here. But anybody else want to share anything? Yes, Hannah, go ahead.
Well, I just love Avini because as we grow, Avini is just stepped up to a whole nother level. I mean, it's like Rik never has to pay for a photographer or videographer because he's so natural. And what he did last Saturday with coming out with a new video, for us to use. And then with Tony coming out with the testimonies, Robin and everybody getting on and telling their testimonies, and Chip, you following up, whatever you follow up, and you, Priscilla and Paul, and then we end up with Chris with the personal development. It is helping all of us to grow into this company, into who we are, to bring our individuality, our persona out. And, you know, I look at Avini for myself as, I looked at it as preventative medicine for myself. I mean, I didn't have the normal cancer, that type of thing in my family, but I had Lou Gehrig's and Parkinson's and angiospondylosis and cirrhosis of the liver, and trying to get a liver transplant for my husband. And then there's me. And I think it was always stress, which caused the chronic inflammation and losing the circulation in my left foot. And nobody could ever tell me there were no blood vessels crossing over my left foot and the blood flow coming up. And I look at Avini and all the products and I go, nothing happens all at once. Our body, it's like us mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. We grow and then we pause. Our body takes over and it's recalibrating. But I look at where I am in this journey with my life in every way up until now, but I look at my left foot and there's the most beautiful blood vessels that are crossing over and up and down and coming up into my left leg. And I can wear shoes that I have never worn before, or it's just like, I'll never get those high heels on again. But it's like, I can be turning 75 and always think, because I think that I'm 50, but you know, it's like, I just love that every bit. This is my biggest lifesaver, the pain plus relief, because I had to quit taking my powdered aspirin. And whenever I feel the signs of a headache coming on, or something, the achiness in my joints, I just immediately start picking this up and using this, using the plus hydration. And I'm going to end on the cardio and the vision and this immunity, all the products, because I learned very late in life that I read backwards. Because of getting involved with working with a company and being my own boss and trying to learn, I have to really sit down and read and comprehend. But I never realized that I read not left to right, but I write backwards and I would scratch out things. So I hated thank you notes. And I didn't like writing things. And I have such an appreciation. And I know it's because of this plethora of products that we have. And it all starts with the Cell Defender.
Woo, I love that. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you for sharing. Oh, guys, I love this family. I love this community because you are so willing to share yourself with all of us. You guys make a difference. You really and truly make a difference on this planet. And how you make a difference on this planet is that you have a bigger goal. It's not just about your health. It's about other people's health. And I call those difference makers. I call those people that want to make a difference for others. And that's special. That's really, really special, guys. All right, Joseph, yes, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's been a good journey for me thus far. My wife is using it. We just got done overcoming some junk that was in our system early this week, especially with me. And it's getting better. And we just take that, mushroom pill and or capsule, I should say. And also, of course, Cell Defender and, Nano Silver and all that good stuff. Big thing that has stuck with me past couple of days is in my mind and my heart, what God has shown me is that, don't come in agreement with things that are not positive. I think a lot of times we get a lot of junk in our head It's kind of like our head's like a compartment. And when you have a lot of, it's kind of like a junk drawer in your kitchen. If everybody has one. It's got a lot of junk in it. We call it that because it makes us feel better. But really, at the end of the day, that drawer can be used for something else that's more, valuable instead of just junk. And so with us, I think our heads and our hearts get filled with junk from external reasons, whether it's political, whether it's people who are closest to us that just can be toxic at times, or just things in general that maybe comes at us that triggers us in some ways. And you have to figure out a way to deal with that, but also to make way for to continue to focus on why we're doing what we're doing. If we lose that focus, then what is this all about, really? Because it's not about money.
Beautiful.
Money's going to be there. If it's about money, you can go work at McDonald's for a second shift. It's not about money. It's about helping people. It's about leading.
Yeah.
And it's about giving out what you know.
Absolutely.
Yes, not everybody's going to say yes. That's fine. No, it's not temporary. It's not permanent. It's temporary. Just know for now. You'll cross back around with them again. They'll know. They'll say, "Oh, Joseph, he told me this. I have a problem here. I need to go figure it out. I need to get a hold of him." So, it's just a timing thing, but going and keep going is what you're doing. You're planting seeds into people.
Beautiful.
That's what it's about. If anything, planting seeds. Some will sprout right away. Some of them takes time, but you're planting seeds. If you don't
Really
plant
beautiful.
seeds, you're not getting anything.
Yeah. And I remember, Joseph, when you first came in and you were like kicking the tires and looking at Avini, and now look where you are. And guys, that is the power of this community, is that it is really and truly about how we share ourselves, that when I bring people here, I know they're in a good space and I know they're going to leave in a good space. I never worry what's going to be said in here because of this family, this community of people. I never worry about inviting my guests here, ever. I know they are going to be taken care of. And I also know they're going to leave questioning, having a question for themselves. Like, how can Cell Defender work for me? That's what I want for all of my guests when I bring them here, is that they leave with questions. Ooh, how can Cell Defender work for me? Ooh, how can Plus Relief work for me? And that's what this community is all about. It is why it absolutely is one of my favorite places to be every Thursday night. And it was so hard for me to not be able to be a part of it for 4 weeks, but thankful, so thankful and grateful. Because I know without a doubt, if I didn't have my arsenal of products of Avini, I would not be here right now because I was that sick, guys. And I have my voice completely back and I have my energy back. Thank God for Plus Energy. So, yeah. So guys, one of the things that I really want to share, and that is this, you've got to know what your why is. I run a program called Young Entrepreneurs Alliance, and I have everyone look for what their why is, being an entrepreneur, because that why is way bigger than you. It's way bigger than you. And when it is about not the money, not anything but having people be healthy on the planet, that's a way bigger commitment than you getting to gold, than you getting to sapphire. You get there because you will not stop sharing this with people. And I have not been able to share for 4 weeks. And I am so pent up right now with wanting to share with people again. And I am going to take that on and do that. So one of the things I wanted to ask, and we do this in my YEA program, I want to ask, what is your plan for YEA by December of this year? What is your plan? Where do you want to be in your business with Avini? Because guys, it's all tied to you sharing with people. It's not about the the rank. It's not about the money. It's about you sharing with people. And when you have that, your goals in your mind, you have a real clear-cut plan for how you're going to get there. The rest of it really and truly goes away. All you want to do is just keep sharing it. So I want to just hear from some people. By December, where do you want to be with your business? What do you want to do? What actions are you going to take to make it happen? I'm going to be the first to share. So guys, I have been working and working and working to get past gold executive. And I'm declaring I'm going to be a sapphire executive by December. I already have really clear directions of where I'm going with it and how I'm going to get it done, because it takes actions, So where are you guys? Where do you want to be? Who wants to share? Like, and actually put it out there in this community, because this community is where you can share this, because we'll support you. Yes, Ed, go ahead.
Yeah, just a couple of quick things, and I love that you're back. I mean, that we missed you so much,
Thank you.
and your passion. I think that, you know, when we look at, you know, ranks come with sharing. Right, the only way you rank is sharing.
That's right.
And so we don't really look, like Joseph said. I love Joseph. You know, we don't look at what money am I going to make when I do this. If we share it enough, then the rank comes and the money follows. That's it. So, you know, being sapphire to go to ruby, to go to emerald, to go to diamond, that all happens with the sharing. It's not hard, you know, and then as long as you're sharing it and you're not a secret agent, then people will come.
Yeah.
And so then all of a sudden you see that, hey, I'm right here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. And you're blessed with the money now because the people need it. And then the money comes to you. We never think, I don't ever, and I know I shared, I know everybody feels that this way too, because we got a lot of really beautiful hearts in this group, in this family, that you don't think about how much money I'm going to make if I do that. No, it's how many people can I bless? And then I'm going to be blessed with the money and the rank. And the rank creates the money. So all we need to do is get it out there, because our privilege and our responsibility is to tell people about this. Can you imagine not telling something? Because Chip, I mean, we all know stories about 4 weeks left to live. Chip's wife. I mean, you know, weeks left to live. Saved now. You know, I mean, so we cannot take that for granted and say, I'll talk to them in a week or two.
Yeah.
No, just tell them. How they respond is not your responsibility. But the fact that you share the information, what they do with that is up to them. Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Ed, that is so beautiful. And one of the things that I deal with is mindset in YEA. And guys, it is your mindset that stops you from sharing with people. You can be right next to somebody and not open your mouth. And I promise you, it's a mindset that stops you from sharing. So I want to actually have you look at Avini and in sharing differently. So tonight, what I want you to do is I want you to take on that we're educators. We're out there to educate people about what Cell Defender can do for them. You're not trying to sell them anything. You're educating them. And the more people that know about Cell Defender, the more, many more will be, that there will be more and more people coming to Avini, because it's only here in Avini. So all I'm saying to you is that mindset, it's not about sales, guys. It's not about those ranks as sales. It's about those ranks as you're educating people, you're sharing with people, and your team is growing because you're using your mouth and you're educating. And that's what I do. I don't sell them. I don't even give them links to my website until they say they want to know more. I always make sure that I educate first and foremost. And there are so many people out there, guys, that do not know about Cell Defender. So many. So all you have to do is ask them, have you ever heard of Cell Defender? That's all I do. how I start my conversation with somebody after we've been talking. Hey, by the way, have you ever heard of Cell Defender? You know, you're in a health and wellness business. Have you ever heard of Cell Defender? And they're like, no, what is it? So, guys, let's be educators. Let's not be salespeople. Let's be educators. And your numbers are going to climb. Your team is going to grow because your mindset, first of all, when you're going to them thinking you're selling them something, that mindset closes you down. It stops you from taking that action. So change the mindset to you're educating them, you're sharing with them. It's all about sharing. It's all about sharing, Ed. It absolutely is. And still have a plan, because listen, my plan is what has me continue to educate people. Have that plan for where you're going, how many people you want to put on your team.
Yeah.
Have that plan, because that is what pushes me to share with people. I've got a plan, a direction.
Yes, I got to hear Chip. I got to hear Chip.
I
'Cause
know I'm going to bring Chip on now.
Chip, I know Chip's making notes and he's always like on time.
Well, thank you guys. It's first of all, thank you everybody for your Julys. What a wonderful thing to see this group come and grow and be stronger, stable, and for the July that you guys just created was a wonderful thing to see. And you know, this is where I can come see you and see the faces and say thank you. And it's kind of the Avini Vibes group plus some special guests that, like me, came along and liked it here and just show up every Thursday. So I see you there around the group, and thank you for joining into the Avini Vibes and for helping it grow. It really is a special thing to have Carol back. I have to say, I talked to a lot of people over a long time, and I enjoy watching the faces, and you can tell if someone's receiving, if they're excited about it. And she's always one of the, if I feel like I'm in a pickle, I can check on Carol, and if she's still okay, I'll keep going. But but it really is amazing what you guys have done, and this is in the trenches network marketing. You get a little group going, it starts getting together regularly. The people start getting their skills, they start inviting other people, they start to have structure, they start creating some stability, some ranks, some income that you can actually pay bills with. And the miracles continue happening. The miracles aren't going to quit happening just because you need one or your family needs one or you offer it to someone. And I did get a minute to talk to Carol before one of these, and we talked about dropping the hammer because it was too long she'd been sick. And so additional dose related benefits to increase the frequency and the consistency and maybe even the amount, and to, like she said, take a swig out of a silver bottle and drink the whole bottle in a day or two. Just go ahead and kill whatever it was that was hurting you. That undo button is a big deal. I do like to have a couple of things involved in when I talk and when you guys talk. And I love the baseball player thing with Ed, and I watched what various ones that you do, listening to Avini programs while you're weeding in the garden. I mean, that kind of thing is really important. Bicycling, walking, being more alive is super important for me. A lot of that happens right here. I showed people around just a little bit of where I am tonight, and I'll just give you a quick little look around. I'm up in a tree that fell down, and just a few minutes ago, I was out there by that island on a slalom course and had two of the best slalom passes I've had all year. And I am 74 years old, and I don't know whether to do this or not, but I'm going to do it. That leg right there is in tiny pieces. She thought I was going to jump. Marcy said, "Don't do it." She thought I was going to jump. That leg was in tiny pieces. I was literally, they had to take the car apart to get me out. But that's the leg of a 74-year-old man. And it works great. Amazingly, it works great. In little bitty pieces it was, all screwed back together.
Wow.
And, where do you go to get something like that? Where do you go? And Avini is certainly, this is my answer. I lean on this product for my problem, other people's problems, and the things that come in the door oftentimes are so threatening and so serious for that person. But I never feel like I'm undergunned, like there's nothing I can do to help. We go right to the foundation, to the common denominator. Um, it's futuristic what we're able to do, but it applies to everybody, every situation. Everybody benefits, every single person. If they're super sick, well, they got a few more squares on their scorecard, that's all. But they get the same benefits we do, we get the same benefits they do, but they just have a few more things that got to get better for them. And, we just start into it, and I'll be doggone if it doesn't work. A little trick, if you get hung up on needing to find the exact testimony for this or the exact testimony for that, what I like to do, and you'll see Rik do the same thing, is flip over to mechanism. The product is designed to work no matter what. So there are mechanisms where it will solve that problem. If you want the exact testimony you're looking for, make it yours.
I love that.
Yeah.
No,
so I think that's right. Marcy just asked me if I want to ski again, and that was a thumbs up. Yes. Yeah, I had I mean, when I was a little kid, and I took my very first ride, and I looked down, standing on the water. And I just got such a kick out of it, and I marveled at it, and I never got over it. Still the same way now, and network marketing is the same way for me. I get such a kick out of this. Look around the group today. What Carol did was create an opening for people to speak into. What an important thing. If you watch MJ, how he works, one of the most important things he does, and he takes the time to do it, is to create a vacuum for people to speak into and express themselves. And when you say it, and you say it in a group like this, that's pretty powerful. That's pretty powerful. The fact that you show up here week after week after week, it tells me who you are and what you want. And, God bless you for wanting to do it. And I know, I know absolutely you maybe haven't met in person, but many of us on this little call and other ones, we feel like family. We really do. We feel like we know each other. Why? Because we work on such important things together, including ourselves, but all the other things we do together. It's so important what we do. And it's we're a team. We are the special forces of healthcare. I always said there's somebody who has to ignore the rules and get the thing done. I saw that in the university and the railroad and the Air Force. I was an Air Force Special Forces guy. And I remember the day that the guys from the Pentagon came and we were going to demonstrate what we could do before everybody went home after Vietnam was over. They were going to have the largest nighttime parachute drops 2 nights in a row that were ever done. Every single person who could jump and every plane that could fly, we all went out. And I was the lead air traffic controller. And when the guy came to me from the Pentagon, he looked at me and he said, I don't want you to do what everybody knows you can do. I want you to do what only you know you can do. That's my message to you guys tonight. I want you to do what only you know you can do.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you, Chip. Yeah, every one of us, guys, we have our own greatness that we bring to the party. And, utilize that. Just like Chip said, bring what you bring, because it's not duplicatable in that sense. Your greatness is your greatness. It's not somebody else's. So, wow. Thank you guys for sharing tonight. Thank you. We missed you, Christine. And I know you're having an amazing time up there with Doug. And guys, we'll be here next week. Guys, just go out and just keep sharing what you know. Share what you know so many, many more people can know it. And and benefit inside of their health. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. This was recorded and you'll get a link to the recording. Thank you, everyone, for sharing tonight. Bye, everyone.
Yep, that really resonated.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. See you next week.